The Tyne Wear Metro is a rapid transit system serving Newcastle upon Tyne, Gateshead and Sunderland in northeast England, getting its name from the Tyne Wear rivers. The system first opened in 1980, and the original Metrocar units, otherwise known as Class 599 or Class 994, are still in service today. The total network length is 77.5 kilometres, and out of the 60 stations on the network, 9 are underground. I was lucky to spend a few hours riding aboard the Metro on Tuesday the 22nd of April, starting at South Hylton and finishing at Chillingham Road, with visits to East Boldon, St Peter's, Sunderland, Stadium of Light and Monument on the way. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to explore the entire network, nor did I manage to see any of the new Class 555 units. All the Metro services I saw were run by the Class 994s. I dare say these things won't be around much longer, so if you like the Tyne Wear Metro, try to ride the 994s while you still can. As for tickets, I was travelling on an adult day saver for zones A, B and C, which cost £5.90. South Hylton Station is younger than I thought it was, having opened in 2002 as the terminus of an extension from Pelaw. The section from South Hylton to Sunderland reuses the old formation of a line that ran to Penshire, which closed in 1965. Indeed, you can still see the old formation, now used as a pedestrian and cycle path, continuing across the street beyond South Hylton Station. Something I didn't find out until after returning home was the fact that this is the longest platform on the Tyne Wear Metro, at 122 metres long. For some reason, trains enter the platform at a very low speed. I was still trying to sort out the ticket at this point, so we watched this lot leave South Hylton and waited for the next service. The Class 994s have a small cab off to the left-hand side, leaving space for a passenger seat directly opposite. This means that, if you're lucky enough to bag the front seat, you can sort of get a driver's eye view of the line ahead. This is very reminiscent of the Docklands Light Railway down in London, but unfortunately, you can't get this view aboard the Class 555s due to their use of full-width cabs. In any case, I initially stayed on the Class 994 through Sunderland and disembarked at East Boldon. East Boldon Station originally opened in 1839 under the name Cleedon Lane, not being renamed as East Boldon until 1898. It was served by mainline trains on the Durham Coast Line right up until 2002, when it was added to the Tyne Wear Metro network. These days, mainline trains share the Pelaw to Sunderland section with the Metrocars. I was waiting to see a freight train at East Boldon, but since that was still a fair way off, I thought it would be a more efficient use of time to go back along the line towards Sunderland, initially getting out at St Peter's on the way. St Peter's opened in 2002 as part of the Metro extension to South Hylton. The station is located between the Monk Wearmouth Railway Bridge, across the River Wear, and the abandoned Monk Wearmouth Station, which opened in 1848 and closed in 1967.
The next train at platform 2 is for Airport.
I decided to go back to East Boldon and see the freight train there, but a few other things came through first, including this Class 158 Sprinter on a Hexham to Nunthorpe service. After seeing that Class 60 diesel locomotive, I remembered the Grand Central service that departs from Sunderland for London King's Cross, so I tried to get back there in time to see the Class 180. Here's the view out the Class 994's front passenger window from East Boldon to Sunderland.
Station is Stadium of Light. Please mind the gap when alighting at this station. This is Stadium of Light. Please mind the gap when alighting at this station. This is Stadium of Light. Please mind the gap when alighting at this station. meters. This is St. Peter's. This is St. Peter's. Next station is Sunderland or Sunderland City Centre. Change here for local and national rail and local bus services.
Now the next one.
This is Sunderland.
My next port of call was Stadium of Light, so named for its proximity to the Sunderland football team's home ground. At this point, I realised that I had been on the Tyne Wear Metro for over 2 hours and still hadn't gotten anywhere near central Newcastle. so that's exactly where I went after Stadium of Light. For the time being, feel free to sit back and enjoy the view out the front window from Stadium of Light all the way to Monument, with intermediate stops at Seaburn, East Boldon, Brockley Winds, Felgate, Pelaw, Hewith, Felling, Gateshead Stadium, Gateshead, and Newcastle Central. Although I paused and restarted the recording every 9 minutes or so, I'm surprised my camera survived, given how hot it was getting. Prior to the start of metro services along the Pelaw to Sunderland section, mainline trains also called at Seaburn, East Boldon and Brockley Winds. These days, Hewith is the only intermediate stop for national rail services between Newcastle and Sunderland.
They've got ownership. You've got to see that for me. You get a point for every field. Yeah. They've got ownership. Like, you got to rate the 3 out of 10. Out of 10. Rate everything out of 10. You've got to take into account smash the amount of prospects. A lot of things. I know exactly. Done. He's absolutely. Sorry for the scene. See, next going to be the best part. So it's either going to be the best or the worst part. You were talking about the sunset. It's a bit cloudy. Yeah. Must be high up. It's nothing to see.
Crowds are good contender. I think actions are not when you stay quick. I think it's a
Riding on the Tyne Wear Metro reminded me of the classic rock band Dire Straits, because their frontman, Mark Knopfler, grew up in Newcastle upon Tyne. In the late 1970s, he moved down to London and started the band with his brother David, accompanied by bass player John Ilsley and drummer Pick Withers. The band's name came about because Mark was in financial dire straits at the time, and my dad, who's also a big fan of this band, told me that the lads spent all of their remaining money on recording their first album, which was released in 1978, and, fortunately, turned out to be successful. I consider Sultans of Swing to be their signature song, but another one on the first album that I really like is called Wild West End. I highly recommend listening to Mark Knopfler's music, be it from Dire Straits or his solo career, if you haven't heard of him before, or if you don't know his band outside their Brothers in Arms album of 1985. Besides the two that I mentioned earlier, a few more songs that I recommend are Six Blade Knife, In the Gallery, Once Upon a Time in the West, Single-Handed Sailor, Telegraph Road, and On Every Street. The last two recommendations are some of my favourite songs of all time, on par with Layla by Derek and the Dominos, Cars by Gary Newman, In the Mood by Robert Plant, Going Home by Mark Knopfler, and Over My Head by Tony Basil.
Today's going to set the tone. Yeah. Like, if I'm going to be excited for you. I'm excited for it's just depressing. Yeah.
You've never been a dog in your life.
You should be excited. Have you never been down? Never. No one's been to down.
Never been to water, like free. Never step foot in it. Never step foot in it. Step foot in it. Yeah. Been actually once. I'm excited for all of it.
Go for win. Everyone off at win. They'd be fuming.
Why is it?
They'd be squaring.
We are.
We should do that.
Least when you're right now.
Yeah. We are the poorest food.
Yeah, we are. No racism.
We should do that. We should do that.
We're all same family. We're all in. Wait, is that what you should think after a game? No. I wasn't with the conversation. Actually, I reckon the one I'm least excited about is because I don't find well, you're going to struggle because there's nothing. I'm struggling right now. You're fighting at least. Just like it's the hot moments of my team.
Scenic? Is he struggling?
I think mine could be up there for something.
I didn't think they'd see it.
I think we're forgetting about Lager.
Yes.
Might be saying about Lager. That'll be cool. I think that's it. First thing I thought about. How did we come up with this? You look at
You were the listening.
No, I think it was.
I think you were like, we should go.
Yeah. I'm sure I remember saying like, listening.
Definitely wasn't one of that. No, it wasn't one of that.
No, I think we were talking about going like somewhere. And I was like, why don't we like? What was it? Oh shit! Finish this.
That's actually We're not going to have time.
That's like the third. Walk us through the middle of the last. Finish the game at the stadium.
22nd of April.
Finish the game at the stadium.
Got two. Got about 5 weeks. No, not even that. 17th of May. Next week, I'll look at the calendar. We might have to squeeze a few in. Double game. A double game.
Oh, last time I'm not going dollar with lashes.
Double, it's got to be like Thursday. So we've got Tuesday, 29th, Millwall. Next Tuesday, 6th, Dartmouth. 13th, Ashton. Off, 20th.
I'm still down. Yeah,
We've got to finish on.
Even if we're all,
we will finish.
What does that mean? Yeah.
Somewhere on it.
We'll find it now. You know what, that looks like really famous, so that would be the perfect day.
It would have been perfect. 13th would have been that one.
It's a big spanner in the works now.
We could just, wait, why don't we just do Wednesday?
Yeah.
We'll do like, we'll do Wednesday record. Even if I next Wednesday to the Tuesday.
Yeah.
We should just do that. That's not bad. Claire, she will have to book a train. I'll have to book a train later.
I'll have to put the train. The crummy. You know, because I don't want to. It helps me. I like the spontaneousness. Just get a ticket. I got a one way It's actually not far from Central. Seriously. It's about 10 to 15 minutes. Not that big. How many goals?
Train at 5.
I reckon we'll get there. Doesn't matter what time you get it. Oh, your kids are going to get it.
Yeah, we can't get into it.
I don't know. I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to come back with this or leave it to your own devices. That would be cool little twist.
I don't know, I might do it like that.
Right, then chunky money. Think about this, right? What if we're in the middle of Crommy, like you still know where we are, I just disappear point and left you to find where you are. That would give an extra element.
We just got your house and do it.
I don't know, I might come out of next.
I still haven't replied to that. You have to say. I told my dick like, not everything. I dropped the bag off here. Probably shut the door.
That's why you're coming in.
No.
Need
See
to
now.
get off in time.
So I'm out.
No.
Is that ours?
Is that what she?
Yes.
Just saying no, read the messages. Oh, she must be saying.
Well, I've said it now.
No, I think she
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
Oh, don't forget that. Forget about it. That's a bomb right there.
The top one.
That's on there. I can get.
I'm gonna have to keep that in mind.
How much for
All me until 10.
Where Crummy?
Crummy theatre.
How much for what that going on?
She did put 2 in that.
I fancy a slim chicken to me. Not like, oh, this one is right. Some lunch and go. Coffee and stage 5 how high.
We haven't planned it for what, like 2 weeks?
Do you know what? It actually sprung up on us a little bit. I was like, oh shit. Oh, yeah. What's the train station class? Is it behind Man Wall? Sort of. It's in can't wait to get off Beacon Hill. The train station's in probably the roughest place in Newcastle. No, actually, it's on before that. Bonfire night. Absolute water. Do the Shank House fire. I can remember that.
No, can you actually remember?
Not like, get you a bit like, say, you know what I mean? And they were in America.
Yeah. Imagine that was.
Nothing comes off the ones.
You've got to pray that like. No. You've got to pray that doesn't happen on your way. Yeah, on the way.
On the way down, 50 minutes a day.
Just something like this, the train station. still play the car session. I just skipped over everything. It could not be more.
Very sick speed.
Every time he was like asking like who?
Probably creepy. And Joel said it behind us.
I used to have.
Why has he said that?
He was like, because when he said it, everyone said, oh, it's only Adam. He said, oh, what do you want with his name? The other one.
What? He gave it about 5 seconds after.
Everyone was like, Ollie made me his best one. Everyone was like, one of the, he was like,
That doesn't count as a point, I think. You also want to take a picture.
I know them though.
Ah, Stu, take a picture with it.
Yeah, no matter. Which one was it? Try this sound.
What about sound one? He's got hair.
You'll know it.
Pretty short hair.
Still with dog hair.
He's just having a piss off.
Old guy. Old. Right.
Just taking the piss every day. He puts on the bus stop.
He always walks in.
Where's the story? We're seeing him when we're having breakfast.
Oh yeah.
Monument Station, not to be confused with the identically named station on the London Underground's Circle and District lines, gets its name from Gray's Monument, a 41-metre tall structure that sits directly above the station on Blackett Street. The station opened in November 1981, and it now serves as an interchange between the yellow and green lines on the Metro. Curiously, this is one of only 3 stations in the world where the same line passes through the same station twice, with the yellow line from St James doing a big anti-clockwise loop via Whitley Bay, before coming back through Monument and onto the terminus at South Shields. My last port of call before leaving the Metro was Chillingham Road, a station that opened in 1982. Its location next to the East Coast Main Line is the main reason why I wanted to go to this particular station.
Platform 2 is for St James.
And that's it for my look at the Tyne Wear Metro. I've known about this system for many years, so I was excited to finally see it for myself. As for what I think of the system overall, it's quite interesting with its rolling stock and station architecture, not to mention repurposing old railway alignments in multiple places. It seemed fairly reliable too, and I don't recall seeing any major disruptions or service cancellations when I was there. After leaving the city of Newcastle, we drove along the Tyne Valley and ended up in the small village of Dalston, Cumbria, where we planned to stay the night. As a bonus, I'll leave you with some footage of another Class 156 Sprinter stopping at Dalston Station on her way to Carlisle.